have more than one guest. We usually record this at 12. Not like you would know that because this is pre-recorded. But yeah, Dylan is working on something for Inc. 2. And speaking of Inc. 2, we do have that launching tomorrow. As of today because today is Sunday, as while we are recording this. But yeah, so by the time that while this episode is live on Wednesday, this news will already be old. Inc. 2 is launching March 6th at 3 p.m. Eastern. So basically, when I wake up 2-ish, I'm going to launch it. And yeah, so that's going to be fun. Hey, this is SeerNova Podcast, SMP, episode 124. So we can go around the virtual room, start with Davy, and then go to Ed, and then go to Christian, or Under the Weather Christian.
Yeah.
So Davy, what do you do?
I'm right now just got some great news that I'm excited about. Been working on it for a long time with this comic called Benigno. It's got picked up by Scouts imprint Scoot, and we should be looking towards later in 2023 to put out the first issue. All the art's been done with that. We've been going on with other pages because it's supposed to be like a 3 graphic novel series that we're trying to put out. So that's got the green light, which I'm super excited for. It's my first, inside of publishing houses. I've had a couple anthologies going there. Got a couple coming up with Cthulhu Invades Neverland, which is that third book in the Cthulhu Invades series, which I'm excited about. And Apollo City Comics teamed up with Lesser Known Comics to do like a punk rock anthology, and got one of those stories in there called Belly Rider that I'm very excited about. I love this guy. He's just this big biker guy who patrols no man's beach, and the man is trying to come in, the man, and build condos and stuff. So he's fighting off those guys to, keep it a party rocking beach. So it's going to be fun. Those are the couple things I got going on. I also have a little short story that's coming out in Neon Sunrise Publishing with a friend down here, David Greshel, who has gone on quite a big weight loss journey himself. And I think he's just been watching what he eats, and he walks like a crazy amount. Like if you follow him on Facebook, like every morning he's getting up at 5 and walking these ridiculous lengths. It's been crazy to see him.
Brian Silverbacks has been doing that for the last, I think, year or two.
Brian Silverbacks?
Yeah. He
the best exercise.
so much. Yeah.
Wow.
You can do it anywhere. No equipment needed. So, yep.
Right.
And Ed, don't you like run marathons or something?
I do. Yeah, I've done regular marathons, ultras. So I do as much running as I can. And yeah, that's another one. You got to pay the price of some running shoes, and you're good to go. You get out there and you can go. You can run 100 miles, and what do you need? Some shoes that won't hurt your feet.
I was gonna ask, what was the longest ultra you did? Was it 100?
No, I've never done 100. I did it was a 51K near Area 51. So
nice.
That was like 30, almost 33 miles. And yeah, that was enough. When I finished that, I'm like, I'm good. I don't need to go up to a 50 miler. But I've also done a relay race where I did 48 miles in total over 3 different 16-mile runs. And that was all within a 24-hour period. So yeah, that was something as well. So I finished that. I'm like, no more. I'm good.
No más.
Go back to the 26-mile runs. That's about it. That's about my limit.
Everyone over here is like, I feel so terrible about myself. Nice.
So yeah, Ed, besides running, what do you do?
Right now, I'm about to publish the 8th issue of Immortal Era. I've been working on that series since 2019. So that is a planned 24-issue series. And then I'm also going to be launching this summer my second series, Corruptor, which takes place in the same universe, but it's completely different vibe and tone. It's about a hitman. Oh, Awesome.
Yeah, 7 just got that in. Thanks,
Perfect. Man. Yeah, those I just sent those out. They got so delayed from the printer that I was planning on having the new Kickstarter launched by now, but I just sent out my last package earlier this week. So the Kickstarter will be delayed till probably the end of this month, but I'll be launching issue 8, and then I'll also be putting together the new series Corruptor, both of those for summer. Actually, issue 9, the art's done for that as well. So that will be going to the colorist. So Immortal Era, I'm hoping to get 3 new issues out this year. And then Corruptor, one of those. And then I'll be having a story in Tales of the Collective. So I first kind of venture into anthology writing where you have to shrink it down, which is hard for me because I always want to write, okay, I can tell 50 pages of this story, but no, you have 6. So and then I had to tell 1 in 4. And those are challenges for someone who wants to tell everything and fill in all of these holes. So that was actually a fun challenge. And I actually told it in a different part of the world. So I thought, all right, what's going on in the rest of the world when Immortal Era launches? So this one tells what's going on in Japan. And I incorporated in some of the Japanese mythology of death. So I'm researching different mythologies around the world. And I'm going to tell small isolated tales in the same universe, but what's going on in another part of the world where, the Grim Reaper isn't their figurehead of death.
Oh, that's cool.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. So speaking of anthologies, Christian.
Damn. Okay, so I have a couple of here already. Okay, all right. Okay, I'm participating in a couple of anthologies. I've done some also traditional publishing in Spain twice, and we're gonna launch in April Punk Droid. And Greg has a story over it. So it's a cyberpunk anthology from author from Asia, the States, and Europe. And it's gonna be hopefully it's done already. It's 12 stories, 22 creators, 100 pages.
Wow.
Cyberpunk. It's a combination of love, death, and robots, the aesthetics, and the spirits of Black Mirror. So
nice.
Like 14-year-olds and up. So it's not for little kids, but it's not like that dark or that, too greedy. And it's, I don't know, it's good. When you go, I hope you will see it for sure. It's gonna.
Mine's got that mirror vibe. So.
Yeah. Well, Greg, Greg knows the stories. There are a couple of stories there that are really, really not cool, but they're good. They're good. Because I don't like I'm calling myself like the anti-Disney. So my stories don't end up good. Nobody wins. Shit goes bad.
Good.
Life.
So if you're looking for a heartwarming story, you know where to look.
No, the thing is that one of the girls that is working on it, she works in My Little Pony, and she does those beautiful yellowish and really nice and happy colors, but the story is bleak. So it's a nice, nice.
Yeah. That makes me think of that show Happy. Have you ever seen that? I think it's on Netflix.
Yeah,
that's what it makes me think of. You got this lucky unicorn doing cocaine.
Something like that. Oh, the Feebles. If you saw the Feebles, that's one of the Peter Jackson earliest.
Yeah, the puppet one.
Yeah, something like that. Or Team America, stuff like that. Like, they're so cute. Yeah, they're crapping in each other. Okay, that kind of stuff. But not without the crapping part. But yeah, that's the idea. To have, because I'm a little, I don't know about you guys, but I'm a little bit tired of all this PC BS that everything is wonderful and we're singing Kumbaya with friends with everybody, and racism is done and everything is done just because appears in a poster and somebody says so. It's okay, good for that. Good luck with that.
Yeah, if I'm not offending someone, I'm not doing my job.
Yeah. No, I think Alan Moore said it correctly. If you're writing for the general audience, you're doomed.
Yeah. Well, there's no like personality of general audience, so you don't. Who do you speak to if you're speaking to no one?
Yeah. Hang your cape.
Yeah. Christian, do you like reading Franz Kafka stories?
Yes, one of my favorite writers of all time.
I figured because all that bleakness.
Yeah.
His stories just start like at the bottom and they just keep going down.
But they're pretty good. I saw.
I love them. Yeah.
Talking about Casca, I saw a show here in Barcelona a couple of weeks ago, based on The Process. For example,
Really?
if you're familiar with that, it's a theater play.
No, it's called The Process.
It's there's not even a movie about it. It's called The Process. It's a book. Everybody knows the cockroach one, you know.
Right.
Everyone knows that one.
Yeah.
Metamorphosis. But this is about a guy that got just pulled out from his house and say, hey, you are guilty of this. That's how the play starts. And the whole play is him and to say, what are you talking about, dude? And that's the thing. That's the premise. Fantastic.
It's not the trial, is it? That's another story he did. It's an original play, I guess.
Yeah, I think when I did it back in high school, because I did it when I was in drama class, it was called The Process. But maybe I don't know, maybe they changed the title. But yes, it's about that guy. It's a guy that's just nobody. Just they got him, one of these, Stasi or those mind thing police, and say, hey, you're guilty of this.
Right.
And the whole story, him saying, what are you talking about, dude? I'm just a normal guy.
I didn't do it.
Yeah, I didn't do it. Yeah, exactly. What's my first day? Nope.
Yeah.
Go to jail first. Then we'll talk.
Straight to jail.
If you can find that and send that to me, I'd appreciate it. I can't find it.
No worry, David. I will do.
Thank you.
It's the same in Mexico. They say you are right, but you go to jail. You know what I'm saying?
Like that meme. It's like it's like look at someone, go to jail.
You're correct, but you're still going to jail. So
you overcook this, you go to jail. Undercook this, you go to jail. Overcook, undercook.
That's it. That's the spirit of the whole thing. So yeah, fantastic. Really, really good. I love Kafka. It's one of my favorite ones here for sure.
So, start the little questionnaire thing. So we'll start with Davy and then go down to Christian. That's just how we'll do it. So what are some of the unique advantages and disadvantages of self-publishing? What do you think?
Oh, well, I might not be the greatest person to ask about this question because, like I said, I just got my first traditional publishing contract signed, and I never did like a Kickstarter unless I was a part of an anthology like with Cthulhu Invades. So when it comes to disadvantage and advantages, I would only imagine if you're a traditionally published, you're going to split those profits, and it can be pretty bleak for the creators. You and the publisher split about 7% of the total revenue because distribution and printing and everything. So those margins just keep slipping and slipping and slipping. But there's a team around you, which is nice. I'm a very big team player. I can be individually spurred on, but I like to celebrate my wins and losses in a group. So I think it might come down to a personality thing. Like you could keep going down the traditional route, and if you're a good team player, you want to do that, then maybe that's better for you. If you need somebody else to help you manage some bigger things, which I think I'm kind of that person. I like to get advice before I make a move, try to find some good resources. But if you're somebody who's an individual at heart, and you really want to just do your own vision and have it not tainted by other people, which I think is a fine goal. Sometimes people need that vision. We talk about the Hollywood movies today. It's almost like the problem with it is just like it's committee almost made. Like we have these check boxes that we have to make for the general audience. So the days of director writer is a little bit Dave Eggers does it but not to great acclaim in the box office. That last movie of his, what was it, Northman? Or am I confusing it with the show?
Yeah,
on Netflix. Well, Northman. Yeah,
no, the Northman. Yeah, the movie. Yeah.
Great movie, but a studio dumped a bunch of money into it, and they did not see it come back. So people are like, "What is this? Why is William Dafoe pouring blood on himself in a cave, and talking strangely to a little child?"
Guilty as charged. I didn't understand it.
Yeah. So yeah, I maybe it's a personality thing, the advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah. What do you think, Ed?
Oh, so I'm in the opposite category of you. I'm in the don't play well with others category. So for
Then we should hang
me,
out.
yeah, I'm sure I mean, I do well. I mean, I have to collaborate, but I don't like to because I'm in my regular day job as a teacher. They are grade level meetings and co-plan. I'm like, I'll just do fine on my own. Leave me alone. Shut my door and trust me that I'll be doing it right. If you want to walk in and see, I'll prove it. So I'm in that category where I have to be forced to collaborate. But when you're publishing independently, I still have an editor who comes in and can tell me, all right, get your ego in check. You're not that funny. That joke didn't hit. So you have to have someone in there to put your ego in check. But in the end, you can tell your story with no compromise. And I think what we're seeing in so many stories being told is pure compromise. Okay, you have to fit it into this category and that category. And I'm not saying diversity is bad. Every story should have diversity. That shouldn't be a forced thing, but there becomes a point where it's overly forced. And I like to be able to tell the story that I had envisioned in the way I wanted. And another thing with self-publishing is, all right, I went 4 pages over. This one's 28 pages instead of 24. Where if you're publishing at a company, they're going to say, well, find a way to cut those 4 pages. As a self-publisher, you can say it's a 28, it's a 32. You have the flexibility of pages. As long as you can pay your artist to get those done, then you're going to be okay. So that's something I liked because I've expanded a couple of issues saying, you know what, it just would really work better if I didn't chop that out and not just adhering to the 24-page rule. So those are some things that I really like about self-publishing. But the financial part, yeah, it'd be nice to not be just pouring money into artists and printing on your own. And then into, I wanted to print a trade paperback. I didn't know how much that was going to cost until I printed a hardcover, printed a soft cover, and then here comes this bill for $10,000. Like, yeah, it'd be nice if someone else was footing that bill.
Yeah.
Can't wait to do that.
Yeah, that I'm gonna go agree with both of the previous ones. Again, it's a game of the pros and cons. That's the whole that anyone who's listening to this and want to jump into self-publishing needs to know there are mainly two main things to be very wary about. Is we talk about this back in the day when Greg did the con and last year. Quality control and distribution. That's the two things, the two key areas for any self-publication. Okay, if you have, as you mentioned, you have a good editor, if you have somebody who's looking out to, if you have some good beta readers, you have a network of people that help you say, hey, this is good. Not your mom, not your girlfriend, not your best friend. Somebody who's gonna go there with a eye of the tiger is gonna say, no, no, no. Look at this. No, no, that is not good. That or a group. It would be better if you have a group, a couple of them that you trust and then you know they're good when they know what they're talking about. Okay, so and the other one is distribution. Of course, that's the one of the main ones, especially in the States. Thank God in Europe it's a lot better. Because for example, we work directly with stores. It's a F any distributors, especially the one with the big D. That one can kill themselves, like throw out of a train, of a building, of a ship, or whatever the fuck they want to. Can we curse in here?
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever they want to jump themselves, do it now, please. Disappear. Okay. So that's the thing. So and the advantages for me is the clearest one: control. I do what I want, with who I want, whenever I want, however I want. Freedom. This word that everybody likes to touch and impoverish. It's such a beautiful word. True creative freedom. You is the word is your oyster, man. Go get it.
Slurp it down.
Yeah. The thing is, as it was saying, it's not only a money issue, it's also a networking issue. Okay, you need to know the stores, know the events, know the artists, know writers, know blah blah blah. If you're just gonna write, okay. For me, I like to collaborate from time to time. I don't want to do all my own. Okay, so but you need to go get those people. You need to talk to the store. You need to talk to clients. You need to talk to printers. You need to So you need to spend a lot of time doing stuff that you normally won't do. But I think it's necessary, okay? Because as a friend of mine says, this is called show business. Because yeah, you have the show part, but it's still a business part. And that the second part is the people that just everyone forgets. No, this will deal with. You deal with it. You deal with it. I only do this. You deal with it. And then you deal with it. The guy's gonna deal with it. Yeah, he's gonna deal with it, but it's gonna take part of your money too when he deal with it. Okay, so yeah, I will deal with it, but this is what I'm gonna pay you for dealing with it. Okay, so be careful with this. Giving somebody else to do it because they're gonna charge you. They're not gonna do it for free, and the margins are already tight as they are. Okay, and that's about it.
Yeah, we're looking into the whole distribution thing still.
Yeah, I was about to say that's like a big thing we're trying to do because we've had some other indie comic book creators like reach out and want us to like publish for them, and we're like, what does like a publisher really have to offer? And like the main thing that we see is that it's distribution, and so that's like our first objective is like I got a list of like a ton of comic book stores. We're going to be reaching out to them one at a time, trying to get connections with each of them all over the country, all over the world, like just trying to make those connections.
What I would recommend. Sorry, David. Go.
Do you have to sign consignment contracts with each and every store that you talk to, or how does it go? Like maybe a trust thing? I don't know.
Yeah, it probably completely depends on the store because we've literally just started the reach out like maybe a week ago, so we haven't had anything set up. But like we've had one of our comics in a store, but like they just bought some of our comics to sell.
Yeah, the collective in Florida actually. That's why Tales of Collective.
Oh yeah, my favorite store, man.
Yeah, so he's like, oh cool, and Danny was like just on Travis Gibbs' like creator hangout thing, and he's like, do you have a retail tier? And that was for Mittens, and I was like, oh no, I don't. One sec, and I made one, and I just copied Travis's from like his wife's dog one.
Yeah.
I was like 8 copies of this, and he's like, cool, and he bought it. I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was one way to do that, but yeah.
And that
like, call the stores and like do it differently.
They are all different too, because I've called a lot of different stores. Some will pay you outright. Some want consignment. Always beware of consignment because I have plenty of stores who haven't paid me a penny with the copies they've sold. Even with the contract, they just play you got to talk to this guy or that guy, and they just keep shuffling you around. So my general thought is if they're not going to pay for the issues, because I sell them at cost, and that's the thing. You're not here to make a profit if you get it into a comic shop. You just want it on the shelf. So I tell them, okay, you pay me my exact cost. I mean, to the penny. I won't charge you 1 penny more than what I paid to get it actually printed. And then from that point, if you don't want to take it, I mean, just beware on consignment. Because I had one shop, they put it on consignment. They left it out for about a week, just shuffled it in amongst the eyes without any kind of showcasing or anything. And then after a couple weeks, they took it off, put it in their warehouse where it sat to rot. And if it's a consignment book, you're not going to make any money if it's rotting away in a warehouse. So I figure if they're willing to pay for more effort into actually selling it.
Correct. Yep. I won't tell you. I will talk about our experience. We try first let's call it official route with distributors, and what I was saying, not only they right away, we had people that returned the books destroyed. We have people that were overcharging the money we told them the books were sold, etc., etc. So I have a lot of horror stories about that. So don't do that. Don't just that's it. Call a free market. They said no. You don't want it this way. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.
Yeah,
we work
exactly.
Well, how we work is with exclusive deals. That's how we work. So we have 1 store or 2 stores per state, let's call it, so you guys understand. In Europe, it's not states, called provinces, but whatever. And that's it. Those are the only official distributors that they can get it in that area, in that state.
It's actually super interesting. Like one of the things that we're doing is I'm specifically, I have a list of like tons of comic book stores, and my first goal was to try to get 2 per state. Like not because of this at all. It was just like, because there's so many I have to message and try to get a hold of. I'm like, I'm going to start with just 2 per state, so I at least have a national like reach, and like eventually I might want more, but like But that's only because we're trying to get a ton of stuff out there. But in the meantime,
Yeah.
like I think 2 is plenty.
And don't
Yeah.
even start. Don't try the whole states because it's a very big place. Start with the East Coast or the West Coast or wherever you guys are located. Start with that area
where you can
first.
drive them is what I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Start
One in
locally, and then you can, and then because that guy that works for you locally is gonna vouch for you.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say that gives you the not credentials, the
Yes.
proof, like the social proof.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
see,
yeah.
look at somebody else carries our comics.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. For
And
example,
I
we're
found that
lucky.
stores. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, we're lucky because we already did that part. So we already. I talked to. Hey, you know X, right? Yeah, he works with us. Call him if you want.
Yeah.
Because they know each other at the end, the owner of the stores at the end of the day. At least in Europe they do. So that's it. That's the only thing you need to know. Hey, I work with X. Call him.
Yeah.
If you
And
don't believe
stores
what I'm
like
saying.
exclusives as well. Give them an exclusive cover with their
Yeah.
brand on it, and they are to carry it.
Yep, they lose their shit.
Shop. And a lot of shops, when they see that I have those exclusive shop covers, they said, "Oh, would you do one for our shop if we carried it?" And for you, you're reprinting. It's just issue 1 over and over reprinted, but it's you're paying for one new cover, but now they're going to buy 250 copies instead of just 10. So it's something, give them something, they'll give you something back. And most of the stores I've dealt with, because you give them those exclusives, they'll have you in for signings. They'll have you in for events. You build a relationship, and then they tell a friend, and he's like, "Oh, maybe my shop can get an exclusive too," because they like to see their logo exclusively on a book, and then it sits on the front counter. It doesn't get buried amongst the eyes. It sits there, right there in prime time at the front counter, where he's recommending it to everyone who's going up to make a purchase.
Yeah, and very important too. You have to bear in mind that you cannot play the game that the big two are playing. So we don't play that game.
No,
we play the other game. We play the game that, hey, with us you have access to the artists, you have access to the writers, you have signings, you have exclusive cover, you have everything that the big ones are not giving to you. We are gonna give it to you. We're gonna give you proximity. We're gonna be there with you. We're gonna help you when you go down. We are gonna be there for you. Well, the other two are not doing. We are gonna do for you. So the thing is that with stores is that, sadly, this is my opinion, I think there are way too many. Sorry, I know this is gonna be an unpopular opinion, but that's why we are the unpopular studios, because we tell it like it is. Okay, so and a lot are gonna go down after this digital tsunami that is coming very soon. Okay, so it's good that you start working with the one that see where the ball is going. Well, I think Gretzky said it. You need to know where the puck is in. If you're a hockey fan, you need to know where the puck is gonna be in. That's where you need to play. Right. So you need to anticipate what's gonna be the next thing.
Yeah, definitely. That's why it's important to be the one who's connected to the store. Just because, if you're connected to a distributor, it can be a limiting factor. Especially if it's a big one that you can't connect with. The people that are trying to work with us, they know our names. It's not like if you worked with, the big guys, they don't know who you are. You're just another number in their Rolodex. And so it's important to make sure it's personal, because one thing Ed was saying, having the custom covers, that one of the first things I did when I was trying to figure out how I should reach out to them. Have you guys played with ChatGPT yet?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I use that nonstop. That thing is incredible. But something I learned to, and for anybody who doesn't know what it is, it's just an AI program where you can kind of just talk to it and it'll respond. It's kind of like Siri mixed with Google on steroids. It's pretty incredible. And basically, you could ask what should I send to an indie comic, or to a comic book store as an independent comic book creator. But one of the things that I learned to do is start asking it from the other person's perspective, and even just thinking this way will help. If you're trying to connect with a comic book store, don't be how do I get my comic in there? Ask, what does a comic book store owner want from an independent comic book creator? And that's actually what I asked. That's what I asked ChatGPT. And when I asked it the other way, it gave me a different answer. But when I asked what a comic book store wants, one of the answers was they want variant covers, they want exclusivity, and like that. So it's a very big deal where if you can say, listen, you're one of only 2 comic book stores in the state that carries this, and you have a special cover, right? That's going to be a really big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the way to go, my opinion.
So, how has the rise of digital media impacted the indie comic industry?
See, I don't know. I think you have to adapt. You have to make sure that you have digital tiers and digital books, because I have people who have been backing since issue 1, and I have some that have never bought a physical copy of the book. They want their digital copy. They're good. They're down for $3 every time to buy a new digital copy, and most of them early bird it, so they get it for $2. But they told me, like, even though you got to trade out, I don't have storage space at my house. I hold my entire comic collection in a flash drive this big, so you have to be able to give them something that they feel is an equal value. So you can't rob the because it really costs you nothing to make a digital copy of a book. You have to convert it to PDF and then you're done. So you have to be able to give to them. And then, of course, you had the NFT craze that popped up for a minute, and everybody's saying, you got to go NFT. And it's like, it came and went, and disappeared. But that doesn't mean something like that won't rise up again. So we have to constantly be prepared for, 3 steps ahead that we can't even anticipate at this point.
Yeah, one thing on the digital front too, this is just like a little marketing strategy to think about. It's like, even if you do a digital version, having a physical representation of that digital version. So like, don't just put a 2D image of a comic book and be like, hey, download the PDF of my comic, because it doesn't feel like a comic book. So anyone who's selling a digital version, something that's very valuable, and we do this on our own website, is we have a what's it called? Like a mock-up of the comic book. So it looks like it's a comic book. And they've done tests on this in like sales funnels. Like it's called like an e-cover, to have a visual representation of a physical product that's a digital one that they're purchasing. And it increases the perceived value, because you remember you're getting a comic book, not just some PDF. And so there's going to be very incredible artwork in it. It's going to be very high definition as opposed to, a standard PDF size. So it's little things like that can definitely help.
Yeah. And I would recommend not only PDF, but I will also do, we also do CBR and CBS, like for Kindle and so everybody can working on it, whatever.
Yeah, like the EPUB. Yeah.
The EPUB. That's the other one. Yeah. So. Yeah, and as Ed said, it costs you like 2 minutes to do it. So do it, guys. Don't neglect the digital space.
Another thing I would say too, it's like, for example, I read a lot of nonfiction books for like business purposes, and I carry physical. I have physical books. You know what I mean? So there's people that will read digital, and there's people that will read physical. I read a tremendous amount of nonfiction books, and I have all of them. I have hundreds of physical books because that's what I prefer. I can't stand reading on Kindle. Like, if I'm going to read your comic, it's, I would like to hold it, right? And so there's always going to be that audience, so you're not going to lose that. But definitely agree that you don't want to. It's kind of like going, oh yeah, I don't really like social media, so I'm not going to be on there. It's like, what if all your fans are just on Instagram? If you just got on there, they'd all find out that your artwork it's like, it's insane to me when people are like, no, I'm so good, they'll come find me in my basement at my mom's house, right? They're definitely gonna exactly
knock on my door. Hey,
can I give you my money, right? Yeah, exactly. So it's like making sure you're available, but that's also true, like Ed said, like making sure you have those digital versions, because if you don't have anything for them to buy and they only read digital, right? Like, there could be someone that all they do is travel. They don't want to carry a bunch of comic books on them. I wouldn't want to either, right? So it's like, if they want to read your comic, you have to have it available to them, and definitely making sure you have your, because I think that's the other thing, is some people will make a physical version. They're like, I don't want to taint the medium by putting it into digital platforms. But it's like, yeah, but then you're losing all the people who absolutely will never buy a physical version.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And that's at least a third of your market every campaign.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes even more.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, easily.
Especially the buyers outside of your region, of your area, because now we're going through the transportation issues. That's another thing. And for us, was a mind changing when we went to a Hugo convention. We were invited here in Ireland to go to because it was celebrating because every year it rotates, And the Hugo convention is where they give the most important sci-fi award in the planet. It's the Hugo Award. They do it once a year. So it was in Dublin, and anybody says, okay, I'm gonna go. And the thing is that there I discovered that there were people selling their copies, but there were also people selling digital downloads in the small cards.
Yeah.
And for me was a game changer, because why people were not buying all physical, because of course because there were people going to those conventions from all over the world to see what their favorite writers were publishing, and of course they already have a suitcase full of books. You think they're gonna buy your two? You just stumble upon them, say, hey, oh, I like it, but I'm not gonna carry that. That's like another half a kilo. I'm not gonna put it in my suitcase. I don't have space for that, dude. So where's the digital one? Oh, we don't have. Nope.
Were they flashcards? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we did two. We did the flashcards, and also we did the plastic ones.
Oh.
That you have the download code in the back.
Yeah, the QR code. Yeah.
Yep. And those work like
I never
charm.
thought of that. That's
Yeah.
a good idea.
Specifically the card ones I love, because like the plastic ones. That's why I was curious which one you meant, because like I've seen people have flash drives, and that's cool, especially if you brand them like that. Like, don't just get like a basic thumb drive. Get some stickers or something on it, right, so that it's branded. And then in the future, you could even do deals where, like, if they bring that flash drive to a convention, you're like, hey, you already have a flash drive? I'll give you 3 more comics for the price of 1 on that flash drive.
That's
right?
awesome.
Wow.
Yeah,
You can make, just make up deals like that. Like, people don't understand. Like, you can make up whatever the rules are, but the cards you're referencing, those plastic ones, I saw a comedian at some stand-up club, and after the show, he's shaking hands, and he sold a plastic card with his whole stand-up album on it. And it just had a QR code. So you buy the plastic card, I bring it home, I put it in my computer, and now it's on my phone. And it's like, that's so easy. Like, so there's tons of ways to, like, and that's what I meant by, like, don't restrict how your audience can buy it, because if they're not going to buy the physical, don't be like, sorry, I just don't have a digital.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I'm on that for my next con. That's such a good idea, because I do have people ask at the shows, and most of the time I'm like, here, give me your email. I'll send you one for free right now, but never actually having a market for that. So I think, the flash drive, because if you go to like Vistaprint or something, you can actually print your logo straight on there, because I've done it for stretch goals. I have little flashlights that say Immortal Era, and you get that on a flash drive instead. And then, like you say, you got, this is buying you 1 through 7. It's going to be $10 as opposed to 25 for the trade. And then bring it to any future cons, and I'll reload the new issues at $2 each at whatever the early bird price is.
Yeah. What I did on our mittens campaign last year was it was a physical tier, but it was $65, which isn't like a ton of money. But a lot of people actually picked that because of what it had, and it was a flash drive. So you get the comic and everything. You get the physical comic and all that other stuff, the sticker. But there was a flash drive, and on that flash drive was the digital version, the PDF of mittens, and there were coupon codes that I did not tell anybody about. The only things that I put, the only way they can get these coupons are if they bought that reward tier, if they are on that flash drive. There's also blueprints for the best like tuna sandwich and like stuff on. But like what me and Josh did for that flash drive is like just something completely like unique and different that I didn't do on any other Kickstarter before. And
the cool thing is not telling people. Like, one of the things that Greg and I love doing are Easter eggs. Like, one of the things that, like, the thing I was working on, like, right as we hopped on this call, is I'm writing a message in a language we created for one of our comics, and I'm putting it like on the wall of our comic. So our it's just something we didn't have done when we had the illustrators draw this up. So I'm like, all right, I'm making the font, I'm like laying it on the wall. And the cool thing is that the digital version will not have the encoder to learn what this says, only the physical version. And unless someone watches this podcast, and no one else is really going to know that, because we're not going to really mention it that much. So it's like it's a very specific thing that they're going to see some random writing on the wall and they'll be like, oh, that looks like nonsense. But like if you have the physical version, there's going to be an or a decoder, right? A decoder on the back to like transcribe what it says.
That's fun.